Hi and welcome to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. And what is Bitcoin doing? Well, I've been looking at this 3-hour time frame, and I'm looking at this with our indicator Quadzilla. At the moment, I'm just looking at the top pane of the chart. I'm not looking at the momentum oscillator down here. I'll show you that in a moment. But what I've been looking at is the 3-hour time frame, and I've been looking at this 55 EMA here, the green one, and this yellow 21 EMA, the yellow one. And on Monday, we could see that these lines were coming together, and we got the green shading there from Quadzilla, meaning the chances were they were going to cross, and that would be a bullish sign. And indeed it was. We went from like 104.9 up to, how high did it go? It went to 107.4. So, that was like really, really good, wasn't it? But unfortunately, that didn't last, and the price came down. And sadly, the EMAs crossed bearish again yesterday at about 6 in the evening. Now, since then, the price has come down to this Quadzilla retracement level here at 103.018, and it's done exactly what it normally does, and it's sort of gone slightly below. And it was a little bit worrying to see this bearish retracement appear here. But in actual fact, what happened was the price went down, came back up, and we continued on the way up. Now, I'm interested in these EMAs crossing bullish again. And sometimes this happens, where they will cross backwards and forwards a few times before choosing a direction. And if we find one of these instances in the past, we can see what happened then. For example, at the beginning of September, there was this bit here where it couldn't really quite decide what to do, but in the end it did choose the upside. However, it did also put this bullish retracement level here, and that did come back to meet that later on in the month of September. And that played out rather beautifully, didn't it? Now, this was another area of uncertainty back in July, when it didn't really seem to know what it wanted to do. But really, you could see here that, we'd actually come up quite rapidly at the beginning of July, and it seemed fairly obvious that we'd need to retrace that level. And obviously, we had this inefficiency here where the price had moved very quickly that was going to get retraced at some point, which is exactly what happened. Interestingly enough, that actually did create a bullish retracement level here in June. And even though these things stopped painting after a while, they are still relevant. And that step actually got completed last Tuesday. So that kind of structure there is complete now. Now, obviously, we do have lower levels like this one here at 96.8 and this one here 81.7. So whether we see those get claimed in the near future or not, we'll have to wait and see. Now, if we put on the VRVP, you can see that it's going to be a struggle getting up here again. But there is this void here where we could quickly move up to something like 107.7. But yeah, if we do drop, we're looking at this big void here with these much lower levels. It's a tricky one. It's really hard to say what's going to happen at the moment. Now, if we move down to the 1-hour time frame, things are looking a little bit better. You can see here that we've got a few of these voids here, and we are pretty much just above this node here. So it's very possible we could move up to like 105 or even 108. And what would be really nice would be to get up to this bearish retracement here at 109.7, go up there, and at that point we can reevaluate what's going on. But I would say if we go below this level here, like 101.8, we could expect much lower values. Okay, so we really need to get an edge on this. We really need to know, which way it is going to go, or which way it's more likely to go, rather. And if we look at the momentum oscillator, which is part of Quadzilla as well. This is all Quadzilla, by the way. Quadzilla is the momentum oscillator down here, and it also adds things like the retracement levels here, the EMAs, and the convergence areas between the EMAs. It gives you a lot of visual signals to give you an idea of the way the price is going to go. Now here on the 3-hour time frame, what we can see down here is this convergence band here has gone from being negative to going green. And it also looks like what we might get quite soon is one of these crossovers. So you see here, like where the convergence band goes green and then it crosses over, and then we get this new signal here, this green band here that sits between the 20% and the 80% line. That is called a bullish crossover. If we get one of those, that's going to be a very good sign as well on the 3-hour time frame. And you can see here that when we had one before, the price went up significantly. So I'd say that in the very, very short term, if I had to choose a direction, I'd probably choose to the upside, particularly if we see a mid-range cross here on the Quadzilla momentum oscillator. Now, the three most important metrics for price action are trend, momentum and volatility, pretty much in that order. So I'm always looking for changes in trend. So that's why I tend to focus on the 55 and 21 EMAs every single day, and I will look at different time frames to see when we're getting these bullish and bearish crosses. And what I just did was I just looked through a few time frames to see what I could see, to see if I could see some convergence of these two in any time frames. And here on the 30-minute, this is looking quite likely that they could cross. But there again, you see, just above here, we've got this bearish retracement here. Now, what often happens with these is we go up, we complete that step of the retracement, and then come down bearish. And sometimes this does sort of do your kind of classic cup and handle, and then up we go. And that would fit in with the idea of that bullish crossover there of the 21 and 55 EMAs on the 30-minute time frame. So I don't know, to me there are signs that the price is going to go up rather than down. I do expect some downside though, maybe the next few weeks, but I'm not sure if it's going to be today. I'd love to know what you think, so please leave your comments down below, or if you've got any questions, leave them down below, or just say hello. It's always good to hear from you, and it does help the algorithm. What also helps the algorithm is if you click like on the video. That means these videos get shown to more people, which keeps us motivated, keeps us knocking out these videos every single day, and just generally bringing you a better service. Please do also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you've got the notifications turned on. That way you'll see videos like this every single day. Now, as well as the videos, we also do live streams, and these live streams go out at midday GMT every single day. So that's 12 o'clock UTC if you like. Now, today's one, I'm hoping that Maff can turn up. I know he has some work meetings that he has to do, so he might not be able to, but if not, I'll be there anyway. So I'd love to see you over there as well. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. Now, if you're interested in Quadzilla, take a look at it on savewithcrypto.org/QZ. We are going to announce some Black Friday offers this Friday. Okay. Now, the offers won't apply to the monthly plans. It will only apply to the annual plans, but they are going to be quite juicy. So definitely make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Okay, I'll leave it there. So see you at 12, and above all, tell your friends.
Steuersache.